That was a very, very quick break. So now we're gonna jump back into the previous pick and ban phase. So the picks that you saw earlier, the first three picks, it will remain the same. So
Mhm.
we will be looking at the last two picks for this draft. But yeah, we have a Varus. We also have a very powerful power of love dragon laners, Saya and Rakan. Now let's see what more will they throw into the mix.
Well, I believe the bands should remain the same for our three bands on each side. And when the first few picks, the last that we remember was a Fura Virus as well as Jarvan for Team VEC, MaiLinh. And for BTR Cillax, it should remain the same with the Vestein couples as you mentioned, and also the Corki on their third pick. And nothing will be changed up for too much. And this time around, if we consider it to be the exact same copy of what we've witnessed, that also meant that Jarvan is up available for BTR Selects to secure.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, you mentioned that you're also Fiora main, so that's something I discovered today. We're gonna talk a bit more about that later on. But
Uh
now,
huh.
yeah, you obviously will not be seeing a Timo for the side of BTR Selects. Maybe something more like a Lee Sin or a Jax if they're feeling very brave tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something that we usually see even in the previous tournament, but Vic MaiLinh will have the first second rotation picks, I believe, and they lack a support and a mid laner.
That's right. And as we wait for the final two bands to fade away, we're following the competition rules with only three bands. Though, of
Mm-hmm.
course, the latest patch itself offers up to five bands. That'll be interesting to see in the future. FSL will offer Showdown for sure. But we'll stick to what we're used to, as seen back in Horizon Cup as well. Now, I do like all these emotes coming out, Lenore, just showing that, yeah, I want to get my hands on the first Scuttle Crab. So let's see whether if that actually happens. Now, let's see as we navigate our way through our phases of ban. AE definitely was one of the high performer back in the first game that BTR Selects played out. They managed to win GS in a convincing fashion, although it was a little bit of back and forth. So first Corky match. Well, I want to see
Mm-hmm.
Power Spike coming up the mid lane.
Yeah, I would really want to see the power spike as well. Although I can't fully give an analysis yet because the ladies in blue still did not pick up their mid lane. But I guess Corky, he can be a lot mobile in the mid lane, can shred a lot of damage as well with that Gatling gun, especially in the late game. I guess my only concern for BTR Silax is in the early game they will have to heavily rely on Diana and Rakan for the early game presence, early game power. And looking back into Vec Meilin, she said she wants Thresh, and Thresh she will have.
Indeed, and you just gotta give the queen what she needs. And lo and behold, a Zed up in the mid lane, the perfect pick to
Hmm.
go against Corky. And once she's got that death mark, I believe that you just want to chase in, and either you want to force Zaya to utilize that ultimate, or even pop it onto the Corky where that Valkyrie needs to be expended, even if you have that package left available. So I want to see some style points for the EC
Mm-hmm.
Myland, and Diana as a final pick here will give them a better chance at initiating a team fight, so long as you have this Rakan at the ready to jump in as well, with the quickness to reel them right in, and they can just shred them one after another. But the EC Myland probably will have a lot of good poke potential, and also having Fiora that can possibly come in with those late game split push. So that Baron lane match is what I'm going to be setting my eyes on.
Exactly. I said it. I said this earlier. I want to see Fiora and Renekton match up, and they delivered. So thank you to the players that made my wish possible. It will be a battle of whoever gets to snowball first. But circling back into the mid lane matchup, it's press R to win for Zed here. Pop Deathmark as much as he can. Ramp up on that burst damage just to make sure that Corky will not see the light of day. But again, it will be a problem because you have Diana that anytime she can just jump in, pop the moonfall, and instead you will be the one who will get bursted down.
That's right. Let's hit right into the riff here in the FSL Wild Rift Showdown. $500 up for grabs if they can make it to the grand finals. Well, of course, that's distributed between the first as well as second place. Now, is there going to be any invades at all? Invading against a trash isn't really the most ideal type of way that you want to go about the fight. If that death sentence connect, someone's got to be doomed to be landed on that end of that death sentence. But everything's pretty much chill in that early game, as we'll see a little lish from both sides.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna hide in that brush at the mid, in the right side of the mid lane, but I guess they realized, oh wait, Claria is at that fish, so we don't want to be hooked in the early game. So they decided to just disperse and go back to their usual lanes. We will be having a Diana jungler this time around with the usual Saya and Rakan down at the dragon lane. That will be a good start for Claria, but apparently it will be the grand entrance connecting onto one. Knockup after knockup, Fish got quite the damage there, and it looks like they will be forced to play this one safely. Speaking of playing this one safely, it looks like Neef was forced to use Flash just so she can be safe from the damage that is coming out from Hellgirl.
Atta girl, like you look at Hellgirl, she's been able to not only pop some good damage with most of all these strikes, probably have found a few vital points, and the moment that Me wants to go in for a stun, she could easily respawn if she could bring it up in time. Flag and drag coming out from Rangzong, and this is first blood potentially going in favor of VEC MaiLinh, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
I believe it will still be a good win for them because they got first blood, but Thresh actually got the kill onto the ADC. -1 and looking at the mid lane. Wow. Corki was able to just constantly pressure AZ, forcing him to go back. Piercing Ari will not connect onto Cillax, but that will be a flash and jump in. Here comes Diana and will try to get that kill onto Rakan, and the ADC goes down for the ladies in blue.
Wow, it's a close trade between the two of them, and you look at that all-in that brought MaiLinh down. I guess that Clara could have actually landed the final tap onto the Rakan, but it's a little too dangerous, especially with the presence of AEAE. Now, as we go back to a neutral stand for both, VEC MaiLinh securing some really good lead, especially with that first blood setup, as we saw that dive coming down. Maybe it could have been a little bit cleaner if they juggled off and that knockup went through. I guess it will be so much harder for me to even get any trading done. Now she's got dominance, so it's going to be harder, but Rangzong's on the prowl.
Ooh, Rangzong with the flag and dragon, focusing fire onto me. Cataclysm being used, and here comes a moonfall from Diana. Instant. Okay, thought he was gonna be okay, but Zed decided to join the party, pop that death mark, and was able to get a revenge kill. I'm not sure if Diana will be able to chase this one. Q did not reach, but then here comes Corki. One Gatling gun forces another missile, and it will be a jump in for AA at the expense of her own life, and that was a chaotic skirmish, but it's okay. In the end, I believe it will still be a win for BTR Cillax.
Well, I still gotta say that it's a worthy trade for the Zed when you take a look at the area play. That is not gonna give any more room for her to wiggle off. It's either you give that kill away to the Corki, or you try to find a pick. And with AE down, I guess at least you get away with a little bit more gold. Now the Zed's 2-1, finishing off with the Yugu's Ghostblade as well. Things are looking pretty well in favor for MaiLinh to eventually ramp up.
Yep, definitely in their favor. And one of the things that they can secure the lead is to get either a Dragon or a Rift Scuttler, which is now online and available. BTR Cillax will have first dibs on the Ocean Drake, but you still have J4 lurking at the sides. Flag has been popped, but you will not get Drag. Instead, Dress jumps in. He was the one that got Drag in and was able to put down the box. Here comes Corki, focus firing on two people. He will be able to use the box, and he does jump out, forcing the flash out of him. Hellgirl jumps in with the repose and gets a kill onto Corki. Here comes Renekton with that dominus. Jump in for Rakan. Make that a triple kill for this Renekton. Actually, no, I believe it will be a quadra kill in favor for them. This Renekton, me is on a rampage, and that was just a clean team fight.
Wow. Just wow. Perfect timing coming in from Wii. Is this going to be the Penta?
Penta?
A little late for that Penta, perhaps, but it's still the Penta kill in the hands of me. Now she's going to get chased on. Clara misses the play as she continues on, and that depth sentence will be able to connect, but there will be a little bit of poke and prop between the two. And BTR Cillax navigate that perfectly.
5 minutes. A pentakill, 1 kill per minute roughly for me. But yeah, that is the best way to start your game on your Renekton. On top of that, they were able to get the Ocean Dragons, small spell bumps here and there, and me decides to try and steal the Referral. He will also try to take the kill onto Rangzong. Kites coming through from Aya. The feathers does hurt a lot. And now VEC MaiLinh is just trying to be passive. They do not want to give any more gold, any more kills for BTR Cillax. And apparently MaiLinh thought she will be able to get the takedown onto that turret in the Dragon Lane. But me was able to teleport and defend his own terrain. And now here is a possible 3v1, but I'm not sure Hellgirl will try to commit in this skirmish.
Rangwell coming in from the back as well. They might actually lock them all down. Now with the beautiful setup that Cataclysm will catch 2 of the members of BTR Cillax, but they will not go down without a fight. Bring Rangzong down low. Well, the only trait that goes down is to take Cillax in that skirmish, and with that in the way, I just felt that VEC MaiLinh have gotten a good defense with the turret still stacked.
Yeah, that was a good defense indeed. The turret is very, very healthy, but a turret that it's not healthy will be this one here at the Dragon Lane. Possible 4v3, but even though me got that pentacle, I don't think he'll be able to survive this. Flag and drag might be committed, and there will be a pull down onto this J4 stuns connecting. Me not being able to move at all, and it will be a small victory for VEC MaiLinh. They will also be able to get this first outer Dragon Lane turret at the expense of their mid lane turret.
Well, I gotta say, it's still a stack of gold guarded by BTR Cillax. They're taking 2 turrets at once, while Clara managed to save the mid lane turret. But this Herald continues to charge right in.
Wow.
And they gotta send more forces all the way down bottom lane. Rangzong choosing to recall in the dangerous position, and the rest of BTR Cillax still on the chase, but thankfully, Rangzong managing to get back to the base safely.
They got 2 turrets down at the bottom lane. I'm impressed. I mean, the fact that they were able to hold out that long and BTR Cillax did not prioritize their bottom lane earlier could lead to serious consequences. But now we are circling back into the mid lane. Aya clearing out the wave. Piercing arrow might be committed, but then here is a shadow from Zed. No, this will not be Naruto. This is Zed and Wild Drift, but there will not be any dead bodies for now. They are trying to get a feel on the map though. Scotland will be secured by this Diana. J4 a tad bit too late to the party, but no commitments, no fights, no pickups just yet. They're still waiting for a mistake.
Now, take a look at the top side, though. This is a Corki matching up to Zed, and you take a look at the itemizations as well. She's got that Duskblade of Draktar, and easily with a full combo, you could burst down the Xayah or even the Corki. But then again, for the Xayah, she could still rely back on that Featherstorm, which is up available. So I guess it's going to be safe for them. While you've seen in the item pool, that is an Hourglass already up online, so Corki will still go down.
Yep, Corki says goodbye, and it will be a wasted ultimate from Diana, given that Zed is a tad bit too far for the area of responsibility of that Moonfall. Now, Aya being able to pick up that Sonya's I thought someone was gonna go with the steal, but no, it will be a non-contested dragon take from VEC MaiLinh. Me is there at the back line though, popping in with that dominance. The box has been popped. Me focus firing at the back line. He wants to get the kill onto Hellgirl, but instead she was the one that got boxed in. Flash
Wow.
in, jump in, cataclysm in, and it will be a double kill going over to Hellgirl. The pull did not connect, but that's okay because they were able to get 3 kills in trade to none. It will be a favor for VEC MaiLinh, and they make their way up into their held bit.
That's the perfect trade coming out of the EC MaiLinh, and now not only did they get the Drake as well as 3 pickoffs, this is an easy rip power roll due to that perfect rotation, and with that late game coming in, Lenoir could just easily go in with split pushes, and even if you send the Renekton by now, nothing much that the Renekton could possibly hold out to, but then again, she's getting caught out. Instantly moving out with the shadows. That's what the typical Zed will do. You don't really have to burn the flash, not that she has it anyways.
Yep. Okay, so 10 minutes in almost 11 minutes. 12 and 10 on the scoreboard. We have a 4K goal lead in favor of VEC MaiLinh. They have a cleaner macro, and that's surprising because initially BTR Cillax were the ones that had the advantage. They were waiting for Cillax and Aya to scale, and me with that pentakill was able to get everything she want on their Renekton. But other than that, it looks like the ladies in blue were able to jump their way into the lead, come back from their deficit, and possibly take down this Corki. Hellgirl doing her best to try and turn, but that will be the protocol in box being used, vitals being popped, grand challenge has been used, as well as the flash. Stacy is being used, but I think it will be a tad bit too late because J4 is now on a killing spree.
Wow, high commitment over up top, and this time around, VEC MaiLinh just lets go of the bottom turret. Wise move, but the mid lane's being shoved as well. As you see, VEC MaiLinh just having all these advantages across the map and forcing the majority of BTR Cillax to respond. It's just a Rakan all alone, but Hellgirl's dropping low. No mana, but that Ignite goes down. Not enough to take out the Fura, but here comes the rest of BTR Cillax on the chase.
Now that will be enough. Grand challenge in, and me will be able to get that kill. Jungler saying goodbye. A shutdown onto this J4. Zed at the very least was able to get away, but vision given for BTR Cillax. They can rotate, they can shift into the mid lane, and maybe get a kill onto Lenore. But no, they will not overstay their welcome. Instead, they will stick put into their plan, which is be strong in the macro game.
Yeah. BTR Cillax just have to buy time for Xayah to get her items up online. You're taking a look at the build. She's starting off with the Infinity Edge and nothing else in the back. She needs more attack speed in order to put more feathers on that ground. Well, I don't really think that she's going to be able to survive that burst that's coming out of not only the Zed, but also for the fact that the Fura will constantly give chase and MaiLinh poking in from afar. So it's not really a clear-cut answer for BTR Cillax right now, unless if you have this Renekton to have that perfect engagement. 30 seconds from now, we're going to have that Inferno Drake spawning up, and BTR Cillax still have to at least balance out majority of these waves. And here comes the setup. I'm not sure if they could get anything out of this.
Somebody
Cillax
is
on the
gonna
move.
hook. Okay, I thought someone was gonna get cooked. My heart fell for a second there, but no, there were no casualties, no fights even. 5 more seconds, and the Infernal Drake will be up. Even though Baron is up, BTR Cillax was able to place a small ward there, and everyone made their way down into the Dragon lane. It will be the Piercing Arrow coming through, and here comes the Charm as well. Cataclysm being popped. Corki see for the backline, but here comes the Moonfall. Rakan, the first one to fall down. First gets a kill onto Diana. You have these skill shots coming through for Corki and Saya, but it's not going to be enough. But here comes me with that double kill. He is very, very tanky. He gets the triple, and she is on a rampage. She came in at the right time. Killing 3% though, but overall, it will be a 3-4 in favor of BTR Cillax.
You go, girl. You just take a look at that scoreline for this Renekton. 11-5. She's so confident to dive right in and take what's what belongs to her. That triple kill could have resulted to a quadra if they weren't careful enough, and only one remaining member of VEC survives, and instantly that Stasis will just pull off that ultimate from Lenore. So without the ultimate, I guess it's just gonna be harder for them to execute anybody, especially when this Infernal Drake is up online. So I'm not too certain if VEC wants to contest this.
Ooh, that piercing arrow really pierces through your heart. Not in the good way. But still, Cillax will just have first dibs on the Infernal Dragon. They have to be very careful though, because VEC MaiLinh still has the utilities to go with that steal. It's a 4-1 setup. Hellgirl is nowhere near the Dragon Lane or even the Dragon at all. The sentence has committed, and now look at the box coming through. Moonfall, beautiful Moonfall has been committed. A shutdown on Zed immediately. Varus gets a kill on the support, and apparently Varus still got bursted down by this Corki. Overall,
Insane.
it was a 2-1 in favor of Cillax, and Claria wanted to get
Oh, the
another
back
kill,
door.
but nope. Now, yeah, the back door from the side of VEC MaiLinh. Make sure no one will come back at the base. The pop damage coming out from Corki is a huge problem, but here comes me as well as Aya being able to defend their Nexus. No backdoor, sister. Not even for this best of one. Because of the overstay, because of the death timers, BTR Cillax was able to clear out the turrets from the mid lane.
Oh no, they're seeking out Hellgirl, and she's walking into two. And thankfully, she managed to survive. As we take a look at that skirmish earlier, it was the perfect quickness being pulled out by Cillax herself, running rounds against members of VEC MaiLinh. And that definitely got everybody in panic. And VEC MaiLinh, the only way they could respond was to take up that fight, which wasn't favorable at all. And majority of them already being caught under the crossfire of not only the Corki's damage, but Aya was in that perfect position to pull off that Baron Storm as well. Now, VEC MaiLinh wants to sneak that Baron, but then again, majority of BTR Cillax, they're just hiding right behind that pit. So kind of like a tough call for them to make. And if they lose one more fight, they're done for. So they got to make this pick happen.
Ooh, death mark onto someone that has GA. I'm not sure if that's worth it, given that it's her next and he can just slice and dice his way into safety, and it will be space created at the Baron. Teleport coming through as well. This is the green light for VEC MaiLinh to try and go to contest, but the box has been popped. Charms coming through as well. Another beautiful Moonfall Proto belt out, but everyone gets pinned down by this beautiful Cataclysm. It will be a double kill going over to Zed. The Corki saying goodbye, and me, the last champion standing, still gets taken down by VEC MaiLinh. Shut down and an ace in favor of the ladies in blue.
That was beautiful. Take a look at how Ramzong sets it up. Not only was the Cataclysm on point, it was that flag and drag that hit onto 3 to 4 members, and they don't need the Baron. Now they will take down BTR Cillax as they march down the Nexus, and VEC MaiLinh secures their very first point. And now that's a 1-1 scoreline for BTR.
That was a beautiful back and forth matchup. You think that BTR Cillax will be the ones to finish off that game, but Team MaiLinh will be able to close that one out after a very, very clean team fight. I would just have to credit Varus and J4 there. They're pinned down, and the way they layered their CC was just immaculate, was so clean. And Hellgirl was also a problem because most of their enemies would keep their eyes pasted onto Fiora just to make sure there will not be any flanks, any ganks, and it was just a really, really textbook way of finishing off a game.
I love how this game, when you see two sides having stars of their own, me dealing the most damage in this matchup itself, but not enough to pull the game back. Most of their members are already lowered down as the Baron chunked away their health bar, while they hope to commit to that fight with, like, what, 60% of HP. and that
Mm-hmm.
made it a lot easier for most of all the ladies from the blue to take over, though they were actually securing majority of the goal lead for most part of the game. There were instances where it was so sweaty it could have actually went back in favor of BTR.
Yep, and that was, man, these best of fronts really do not disappoint. And that was just the third one for tonight. We still have two. But yeah, that will be another point going over to MaiLinh. To the supporters of that team, do not forget to give them a congratulations. But that has been our third best of one. We have been your casters. I'm Yuko alongside Miss Contra. We're gonna be hopping to a very, very short break, and when we come back, we'll be seeing another best of one.